Well, we're here in the summer squash trial and we're visiting with Maggie Wolf, who's a senior research specialist out here at Bixby. And Maggie, maybe you can explain some of the things about the squash trial.
Well, the squash trial that we have this year is a summer squash trial, and they're all straight neck squashes.
Mm-hmm.
We have 14 different varieties, and generally straight necks are grown because they're more commercially desirable, because crook necks tend to break during shipping.
Okay, so they just ship better then.
Right.
So now in the squash trial, what kinds of things are you looking for as you evaluate?
Well, when we evaluate, the number one thing we look for is yield, and yield is very dependent upon a number of things. And one of the things that you look for is a variety that might have a precocious yellow gene, because this precocious yellow gene helps mask the symptoms of cucumber mosaic virus.
And that's the main problem that we have here in Oklahoma?
Right, it's a very prevalent disease, and by the mid-season it starts to really cut people's marketable yield.
Mm-hmm. Now what symptoms do you start seeing in the fruit when you have this problem?
Generally, most people are probably familiar with the look of a cucumber mosaic virus. The yellow fruit takes on a green mottling, it looks very unattractive, and it's just usually pretty unmarketable.
Okay. Now how does the precocious yellow gene mask that?
The precocious yellow gene has more yellow coloring in the skin, and in that way it masks that green mottling.
Oh.
And another benefit of this precocious yellow gene is that the fruit is yellow from the point of inception.
Oh.
And once it flowers, it grows yellow.
Mm-hmm.
So a person could use that as a special marketing ploy and then sell their squash as baby squash.
Oh, cool. Now, if you have this, how could you tell, other than it said so in the catalog, how could you tell they had this?
You can tell if you walk into this field, you can easily see the difference between a precocious yellow fruit and a regular fruit. The peduncle of a precocious yellow is yellow.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
Right there.
And those are very dark yellow squash already.
Yes, and over here we have a baby squash still with the flower on, and you can see that could be marketed as a baby squash.
Oh,
it's
cool.
already yellow. And a normal squash has a green peduncle. We can look at over here. Here you can see the young squash, and it has a green peduncle.
You're right. And it is. It's a much greener looking squash
it's
already.
A very light yellow.
So. Now, this is just one of the vining crops that you all work on out here, right?
Right. We also have seedless watermelon out here. Right over here.
No, we don't have any watermelons yet, darn it.
No, they're there. They're just too small to see.
Uh-huh.
They're just little.
Well, how do you get seeds from your seedless watermelon? Everybody wants to know that.
Right. Well, a seedless watermelon is sort of a hybrid. It's produced from a diploid watermelon and a tetraploid watermelon, and when you cross that, you get a triploid watermelon. And it's sort of analogous to a horse and a donkey, and you get the mule. The mule is sterile. So these triploid watermelons will not produce viable seed.
Okay.
If you tried to plant the seed, it just wouldn't grow. And it's also important, if you are trying to grow triploid watermelons, that you have pollinator rows or pollinator plants near them, because you need to have that regular diploid watermelon pollen to pollinate with your triploid watermelons, or you won't get good fruit set. And also another thing you need to watch out for, if you grow a diploid pollinator, you want to make sure it's a different shape or different color, something that you can easily distinguish when you go to harvest.
Okay, so you know what you're getting when you pick them off the vine.
Exactly.
Great. Well, Maggie, we really appreciate you telling us about the vining crops here at Bixby.
Thank you very much. I enjoyed it.
We hope you've enjoyed this classic from the Oklahoma Gardening Vault. Remember, even though these tips and techniques are timeless, there's always something new to learn in the world of gardening. By subscribing to both Oklahoma Gardening and OK Gardening Classics, you'll have access to a wealth of gardening knowledge, both classic and contemporary.